Hey, what's going on, guys? I have a special guest here today. Today's guest is Colleen Clifford. She's a former binge drinker and commercial fisherwoman who survived 7 near-death experiences and turned her pain into a mission to help all break free from alcohol. After losing her husband to alcohol-related suicide, she's built her life, become a health and alcohol-free speaker, and now teaches others how to take back control. Colleen, thank you for coming on the #Clockedin podcast. You've survived 7 near-death experiences and the loss of your husband. What was the moment you realized I can't live like this anymore and everything shifted for you?
Thank you for having me, by the way, first, Jordan. I so appreciate you. Yeah, it's crazy because it was just 4.5 years ago. So I'm in my early
Oh, wow.
60s. Yeah, so I was it's taken a long time. And as people know, a lot of near-death experiences, but it was the final wake-up call was I had I didn't think I really had a problem because 95% of the time I could drink like a normal drinker. And
Yeah.
it's 5% that there's a wild card in that wild card can flip over. And you never know when it's going to happen. So for me, on this particular day, it's my best friend's birthday, Sunday barbecue. I told my now partner, "Oh, I'll be home at 6. Don't worry, I'm not going to drink too much. I'll drive myself because he knows me and my friend can sometimes drink too much." And he was a little like, are you sure you're going to be home at 6?" So I say, no, no, I'll drive myself, get to the party. Moscow mules start getting handed to me. 6 o'clock comes and goes. It's midnight. I look at my clock. I go, oh, holy crap, man. I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and I'm still drinking. So I shoot him a text, sorry, or something like that. I'm on my way. My friends all say, don't drive, stay the night. But I keep my promises, even in a drunken state. I thought I was okay. That's the problem with
Oh,
alcohol,
wow.
right?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay to drive. And so I get in the car, I start heading home and kind of trying to hurry because it was already by this time 1 o'clock. And 3/4 of the way, I see a double line. So I have to shut one eye because, and then I know, oh, I'm really drunk because you only see double when you're really drunk, right?
Yeah.
I don't think to pull over and just rest, throw my keys out by the tire so I don't get a DUI. Instead I say a prayer. Get me home. I swear to God, I'll never do this again. I get home, thank God, or whoever, the angels in the sky, and I creep into the house so I don't wake him up, but I'm sure he was waiting, right? He's probably worried about me. I sleep on the couch, wake up the next morning. He looks at me like, do we have a problem here? Like we just kind of had been together a year. So I'm like, do I have a problem here? I was so ashamed that I drove home drunk. I was so grateful that I didn't kill anyone. I didn't get a DUI, which I highly deserved. And I was like, this has to stop. Like I was 58 at the time. This isn't who I want to become. I gotta, I gotta figure this out. So I knew the only way I was never going to do that again, because in my past, the statistics show it was to never drink for
Yeah.
me because I was never guaranteed this binge drinking, that wild card shows up not every day, not every time I drank, but as 7 times I should be dead. This was one of them. I count this as a could be dead or could have killed someone and, been in jail for, well, not the fact of being in jail, but the fact that I killed someone and have to live with that, right? Yeah, it was my wake up call. It's like, Colleen, you got to get your shit together.
Absolutely. And I see it so often where there's people who grew up around it and they have it often and they see their parents doing it and they're like, it's okay, it's not a big deal. And it is a big deal. So when did your journey with alcohol kind of start? Where did you get introduced and like has it been omnipresent throughout that?
It has. I didn't start drinking till college days. Well, actually, I went to my first frat party when I was 19 with my friend, the same friend, by the way. Her now husband was in a fraternity, and we went to that party. And yeah, but I was always a binge drinker, and I never knew it was a thing because I didn't consider myself an alcoholic. I didn't drink every,
Yes.
right? I didn't always. drink too much. And even when I did binge drink, which by the way, a binge drinking incidence is four or more drinks for a female, five or more for a male.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it can be like some people ask me, well, what if I drink all day, like watching football, and I don't get drunk? And I answer that's still a binge drinking incidence because our bodies can't handle that much alcohol. Like our brain has to get it out. It's a
Yeah.
poison, you know? It's like food poisoning when we eat a bacteria, our body throws it up and we feel like crap. Well, when we have a hangover, our body's telling us, you poisoned me, right? It's
Yeah.
not like feeling great the next day we drink too much. It's saying, man, you really did something to me here. Um, yeah, so I started when I was 19. It's typical people, a lot of people in social settings are, kind of like shy and for me,
Yeah.
I'm very shy, introverted, believe it or not, and drinking helped me talk to people,
Yeah.
and that's I relied on it. So
Yeah.
mostly drank at parties and stuff.
It's the association. I mean, it's kind of the identity too. And like how you said, I never saw myself as an alcoholic. Or it's that identity of, oh, it just helps me talk to people. So we view it in society as like, oh, this is a good thing. Like you should do this. Not, oh, it's a poison. This is very bad for us. We've seen all the bad things that have happened. And there is that negative connotation that can be kind of scary with it. So for you, where did how did you even make that final change? Because I mean, most people at 58 are like, I'm doing me, I'm enjoying my life, I don't care. What caused I know what caused it, but what actually allowed you to have this time stick for you?
Yeah, that's a great question because like 40 years of binge drinking, it's like you would have thought I would have figured it out sooner. It's denial is what kept me stuck. I mean, it keeps you safe. It kept me safe to deny because I didn't think I was an alcoholic. And it only happens sometimes, this wild card.
Yeah,
It was that last moment of like, I drove home drunk. Like, and how many times am I going to deny that I got this under control? Because I don't. That freaking wild card's going to flip over again if I keep drinking. And what am I going to do next? Like, I can't
yeah,
keep telling myself this isn't going to happen again because it did.
yeah.
And it was probably, I hadn't had that kind of thing happen for years. Like it can
Oh
happen
wow.
anytime. It's not like I drank and binge drank a lot. It just can happen to anyone
Yeah,
at any time when you're drinking past the normal. I mean, there's really no normal drinking, by the way, but what we call normal drinking of like not getting ridiculous is what we call normal drinking, right? When you have two or three and you don't like lose it.
especially in America, you know what I mean? Especially in America.
Right.
And it's interesting because you start to realize like this is a very most people. It was funny for me because you go to college, most people are drinking, and then after college, oh, it's fine, and then you start to go like, wait a second, this is becoming too much. Like there needs to be some clarity here to get this under control.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go.
Yeah. No, no, you.
No, so I was gonna say for you, I mean, like what were the steps you took to kind of uncover that and get to this point of I don't need this like I don't want this in my life. Like what did you
Well,
have to do change?
yeah, well, I had to get help because I wasn't doing it by myself. That was
Yeah,
the thing. I never in my, I very independent. I commercially fish. I like, you know, I don't need help. I can figure this out. I mean, there's stuff all over the internet, but it was really and intellectually we can read till whatever for years and years on what we're supposed to do, but until I joined a community of people like me who were in the same situation as me, who had the same struggles as me, I could connect and go, oh, I'm not the only one out there trying to figure this shit out. And and I created bonds and like was able to work through it and I had to have a final like, okay, I really want to stop. Like I don't my non-negotiable, I call it, is that I never want to drink and drive again.
yeah,
And and that's still my non-negotiable. I never
yeah,
want to drink and drive again. And it was scary. It's scary to do those things, like, but you can always it was my necessity. And to this day, today, I can't believe how much my life's changed in a good way. I mean, my life
How-
was always good, right? Now it's like 20 times better, and I'm so
what
happy
made it
with
so
that.
much better?
I've made so many new friends in this realm that, the alcohol-free lifestyle, it's a trend. It's a mindset shift, a culture shift happening now, believe it or not. Uh,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of people who are on the same bandwagon of not drinking, and so you don't feel like such an outsider. I've
Yeah.
made, my connections with people are real. We have real conversations about our struggles. When we cry tears, they're not drunken tears, where the next day you go, oh shit, why did I share that with somebody? I mean, you share what you really want to share authentically, and it's heard by someone that can, you know, accept that and maybe share back. And then just my whole, I'm writing a book now, Life Beyond the Binge, and I'm just taking my message. It's given me a purpose to share, and I'm hoping to make an impact.
That's incredible because you start to realize, and I had a similar thing for me where it was I was trying to have deep conversations with people and I struggled with that. Because I would have conversations with people at the bars and then nothing would ever formalize from it. And that's where I started my group coaching because I wanted to lead these deep conversations and have these deep conversations. And that's what it's come to be, where it's not saying like you can't do things or you can do things, but everyone shows up in a good place and they're like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to have these hard conversations because it comes with deeper questions. The better questions we ask, the better people. And you start to realize that with Colleen's story, it's once she changed her environment and changed the people that were around her, it helps drastically in comparison to just, I'm just going to hang around the same people and try to abandon the habit. It's not going to abandon. The people you're around are going to affect you in a positive way or a negative way, and that's okay. But you just have to be aware of that. So sometimes it requires changing friendships, changing dynamics, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Yeah.
catch any flack for it?
Uh, no, no. And the people who are uncomfortable with me not drinking, I mean, I don't judge anyone. Everyone, my partner still drinks, not a
Yeah,
lot, but he does. And when he does, I don't give him crap about it. I'm just like, yeah, honey, have a drink.
yeah,
But we also say that if you drank too much all the time, I couldn't be in this relationship because I don't want to be around a drunk, right? I don't.
absolutely.
So he drinks when he wants, and I drink my non-alcohol beer, and life is hunky dory.
But you start
Um,
to raise your standard a little bit. I'm
well,
only
yeah, yeah, and who do I want to be surrounded by? It's not that I want to judge others. I just don't want to waste my time.
absolutely. So if someone's in that situation of like, hey, I want to get past this, I'm dealing with like someone in the audience is saying like I'm dealing with this. What do you think is some of the action steps they could do or take?
I would probably invite them to ask what is serving them in their life, like what what's working for them. And then rather than saying, should you drink or not, I would probably rather ask, like, what can you take away in your life to help you become the better version of you that you want to become? And what can you add to become the better version of you? And, that's an individual choice for everyone. Some people, and if that's alcohol or smoking pot or playing too many video games, it's all about life and the way we live it with the time we have, because we're all going to die. And how do we want to, and I say that just I've recently had a death in the family, and it just hits home. My mother, it hits home how precious life is and how are we going to spend it. And so I would just ask those questions.
Ask those deeper questions of how do you even want to spend your life? Do you want to
Mm-hmm.
spend it in this place of constantly playing catch up, or do you want to play in this place of like, I'm being so proactive that I am moving way quicker than I ever thought I would be? And
Mm-hmm.
it's not always about productivity and making more money and any of that, but it's just about you have better relationships, better family, better people around you. You're able to do more things in the mornings. Like I see it all the time where people are just gone for till 1, 2, 3 p.m. the next day, and it's just a lost cause. It can be very challenging for a lot of us.
Yeah. Yeah, and not to be morbid, but watching her pass, you just realize that all our productivity, all the knowledge my mother had, none of it's going with her. It's right? It's who she became as a person and how she made people feel. And that's what I want to take with me. Like, how am I impacting everyone I meet in the day at the grocery store? Am I kind? Um, because, all of this doesn't go with me. It's what's in here, right?
Absolutely. And I would like so with with Edwards Consulting, we have 5 pillars: mental health, physical health, community service, philanthropy, spirituality, and relationships. And I would say that touches a lot on spirituality because with spirituality, it's that interconnectedness. It's that we're all together. It's that we're all doing these things together. And
Hmm.
I do think it does make a big impact for a lot of us because there's so many of us that are missing a lot of that. You know what I mean? It could be
Absolutely.
you're missing so many aspects of life. So if you're open to it, is it okay if I ask you about these different pillars?
Oh, I'd love to. I love good conversation.
Absolutely. So
Let's get
with
deep.
Edwards Consulting, yeah, we have the 5 pillars, which are mental health, physical health, community service, philanthropy, spirituality, and relationships. So with mental health, on like a 1 to 10, where do you think you're at today? How are you feeling today?
I would say a 10,
Really?
even with my mom's passing.
Why do you think that?
I feel like this may sound corny to some people, but like if I died today, I feel like I've worked through all my crap. You know, it's all anything beyond here is going to be adding to my bucket.
I like that. So you've achieved your whole bucket and now everything's a bonus.
Now I'm creating a new bucket.
That's a very healthy way to see the world. And the only reason I ask a little bit deeper on some of these is because you start to realize like what has to happen and what people are doing to get closer to their goals. You know what I mean? And if someone's sitting
Yeah,
there going like, what's helping me with mental health or I'm down in mental health, maybe think about how do you fill your own bucket to the point where you have a full bucket and then you could start giving to others. I love that.
right. And don't forget, I'm in my 60s, so I've had a lot of time to work through this. Your audience is probably quite a bit younger, so it might sound like, well, who's this lady? But I with age, things do happen. I think, I hope for everyone
Absolutely.
of evolving, and I've had more time than maybe a lot of your listeners. So
Absolutely. And then what about physical health? On like a one to
I
ten,
feel
how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably about an 8.5 because with aging, there are things like I feel my knee not, when I can't jog anymore, unfortunately, but I do walk and I'm pretty, I'm very active for my age and I still commercially fish. So I have to be able to lift the lift the oranges I cook. So, lift things
Yeah.
up on shelves and yeah, being active is very important to me.
Absolutely. And it's a really important thing in life because without physical health, we have one body. That's all we got.
Exactly.
You might as
Right.
well. I saw something the other day where they talked about if you could have one car for the rest of your life and you never got another car, how would you treat it? And then they go on this
Uh,
whole thing where it's like, how would the person treat it? And they start talking about it. And at the very end, the guy goes, yeah, that one car is your body. Like you would treat it nicer, you would keep it clean, you would keep it pristine. That's your body. Like, so that's the thing that you want to work on and should be a very important thing because that's really all we got. And then what about community service and philanthropy?
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't start volunteering in life until about 5 years ago.
Really? What caused that?
Yeah. Well, I used to have horses with my late husband, and so it's really kind of a selfish thing because down the street there's a hippotherapy
Oh, wow.
facility where they use horses to facilitate progress for kids with
I love that.
developmentally. Yeah, yeah, and they have a barn with 8 horses, so I get to go down there and shovel horse shit and move horses around, and feel like it's my barn on Sundays when no one's around, and just talk to them, and I get my horsey fix. But also, it's really fun to watch the kids. I also lead the horses during sessions, and and all this kind of stuff. So it's fun to see the kids and the therapist working together. And I didn't realize, I'm going to do more volunteer work as time allows, but it's really fun to give unselfishly. And sometimes
Absolutely.
you get things back, right?
Of course, always. And
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
did you even find that? Because the only reason I ask is because with a lot of us and a lot of the people listening, they're like, community service is like not really big. And like, how did you find something that you were actually passionate about and find some way to actually get back?
Well, for me, it was like, what am I passionate about? And I love horses, or it would have been the food bank. I actually started that a little bit because I cook and I'm all about food. Um, but I just Googled horse facilities near me, and these riding stables showed up, and that hippotherapy place showed up, which is like down the hill from us. And I
I,
was like, cool, they need volunteers. And the cool thing is I can volunteer any day I want, anytime. It's not a strict schedule because that wouldn't work for me. So yeah, I just think if your listeners out there are interested, find what is passionate for them, and just Google it near you,
yeah.
and things will pop up. There's all kinds of
Absolutely. Absolutely.
volunteer.
It forces me because a lot of the time I travel a good amount. So when I travel,
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to find the new things, but you start to realize like there are hidden gems right in your neighborhood and you just at most people have no clue. They have no clue that
Hmm.
it's right under their fingertips and it could make their life so much better. So I love that you
Hmm.
shared that. What about relationships on a 1 to 10? How do you feel about relationships? It could be family, friends, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I would say a 10 again. I mean, I feel pretty good with life right now. Yeah, I'm in a relationship with my partner who I don't have children. He's got children. I have grandkids, and his wife passed away. My husband did. So it's like we have that weirdly in common. So we can speak about our dead spouses without weirdness.
Judgment, yeah.
Yeah, and my family of origin were super tight with my mom passing. We're all went through that together, and the grandkids and all my nieces and nephews. And yeah, I'm very blessed. But I work. You have to work at it too. It's
How do
not
you
just
work at it?
well, I stay connected. When I commercially fish, I'm out fishing. I come home. I reach out. I'm the one in the family that will reach out and say, "Hey, let's get together," or "Hey, can I babysit your kids?"
So you're proactive on it.
I'm very proactive because it
Yeah,
won't happen if you don't
of
get it on the
course, of
calendar.
course. People are not thinking about others. And then if you're proactive, you get to have the better relationships you want because no one's really thinking about you. And that's the
Right.
honest truth. Like if you don't make it
It is.
happen, and there's so many people that sit there, oh, if they don't reach out to me, then we're not going to be friends. No, you have to be the
You,
initiator. Otherwise, you won't have the friends
yeah,
you want.
yeah. I've thought the same thing, and I've let that lie because if people do love you, me, whoever your listeners are, it's just they don't think about it. And like just this morning, I reached out to my niece. I know she has December off, and she's got two little ones, 2 and 4. And I said, "Hey, can I babysit them so you can go shopping or something, and let's get together." So,
Yeah, it's how to
you
be
just have to
thoughtful.
be proactive.
I love that. And then spirituality. We're on a 0 to 10 on spirituality. It could be whatever you want. And this is how
It yeah,
some people are like all about religion. Some people are like, hey, it's me saying hi to the person on the run that I'm on. Like it's all wherever
yeah,
people want it to
yeah.
be.
Yeah, I feel we're all going to the same place. And I'm not real big on organized religions. I was
Of
raised a
course.
Catholic. My mom's funeral will be at the church. And I just yeah, I'm just about love and be kind. And at the end of the day, who knows where we're going. But definitely being a nice and kind and loving and generous person is probably your better chances than being a little shit in life, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I, I appreciate you doing those because it always gives people value and insights and direction. If there's one thing that hits someone, it's a win. So one of the final things that you talk about is fun without alcohol because most people go, you don't drink, what do I do? How do I have fun? Is it possible to have fun without alcohol, or is that a lie that we've also been hearing?
No, it is yes. Oh, okay, let me back up. I was so afraid when I said I had to quit for that reason. Like, how am I going to have fun? Everyone I know drinks. Like, is my life over, right? But it's just so shocking how much fun I can have without drinking because it's authentic fun. And, if you think when you're a little kid, you're not drinking when you're out in the woods with your buddies building a fort or, riding your bike around the neighborhood if you did that as a kid. So at some point in life, our adult society says we need to have alcohol to have fun. And it's really, for me, I feel like it's a lie. I just went on a alcohol-free trip with a bunch of people to Germany, and we toured the wineries there that are producing
Wow.
alcohol-free wine. Yes. And it was a big aha that there's a huge movement in the alcohol-free alcohol industry for alcohol-free versions of good quality products because the market's changing. People want alcohol-free options. In fact, it's increasing more than the alcohol options. So, those industries are getting on board with producing it. And yeah, you don't wake up with a hangover. You, are always, you get to watch other people get drunk at parties and go, oh, I'm glad that's not me. You're always the designated driver. Yeah, it's just at this point in my life, I feel like I was duped. I duped myself. I wasted a lot of time drinking.
And what do you say for those who are like, I'm thinking about making the shift, I'm not really sure. Like what should they be doing?
You could give it a try. Like, you don't have to commit to saying, I'm never going to drink again, ever. Like, that's a scary statement, right? Uh, Now, for me, it's not because I know I don't ever want to drink. But when you're in oh, can I do this? Do I want to? I'm afraid. Just say, okay, I'm going to stop for a week, or I'm going to, see how my body feels after 2 weeks. Because quite honestly, it takes a week for alcohol to get out of our bodies.
Yeah.
So your body's not going to adjust to not drinking for a couple weeks. So you're not really going to feel the effects of not having alcohol in your system until you give it some time. And then you're going to see, oh, maybe I'm going to start sleeping better or feeling better, not, and so I would say that there's all kinds of groups you can join to help keep you accountable. There's coaching, like
Yes.
yourself. There's all kinds of coaching. And the thing is that I would highly recommend, I didn't want to spend any money on this. I was being so cheap with myself. And now I look at it like, why wouldn't I invest in me? Like,
Yeah.
I was trying all the free stuff and none of it was working. It wasn't until I paid someone that I really got serious.
Yeah.
So that's just a thought, how serious are you and are you willing to invest in yourself? And quite honestly, like that money I spent was the best investment of my life for me, right?
Absolutely. And people don't realize it because we sit there and we go, "Oh, but at the $20 at the food store adds up. The $100 bar tabs add up." Like if you could pay to remove that from your life, like the massive value is insurmountable. Like people don't realize what a good change it can do. So
Right.
Colleen, where can people learn more about you, learn more about what you're doing? Because you are having a lot of impactful work. And I know Life Beyond the Binge is coming out next year, but where can people learn about you?
Well, I am in the process of rebranding, so I will have a website called Life Beyond the Binge, and that correlates with my book that's coming out. So you could just email me at Colleen at Life Beyond the Binge at this point. Soon the website will be up and running. Uh, my goal is to speak on stages. So if anyone out there has a school where, on my website, I'll have my speaking engagements that I've done so people can see kind of what my messaging is. It's about binge drinking and then craving. So I'll have like some signature speeches. So at this point, it's kind of basic. So, and maybe emailing me might be a little too intimate for some people, but just remember life beyond the binge if you could, and more is coming.
Absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you. This was awesome.